All right, hello everybody. So this video is just a quick debrief of the entire Alum Anamorphic project, since most of the adapters have now been built and shipped out. If you ordered one, first of all, thank you. Second of all, it should be arriving in the coming week or so. So there's a couple of things that we learned while building this adapter. First things first, there is sort of a known issue of the corners in the adapter being prone to cracking. This is something both Pierre and I discovered while building the adapters, and the people whose adapters it's affected so far have been informed. The main culprit of this is just the design of the adapter itself. So this is the sort of one of the acrylic prototypes that I polished myself. I designed this with sharp corners, and the main issue with this is it works fine in plastic, right? But glass is so much more brittle that it makes these corners very, very prone to cracking. And I should have chamfered these, so cut off at 45 degrees and then probably smooth them out even a bit. And that would have made it much more tolerant to that sort of cracking. And if you look at old anamorphic designs like square ones like the Lomo and stuff like that, they're usually a bit more sort of cut in the corners. With square elements in general, they usually cut. And so that would have sort of fixed a lot of the issue. That's what we're planning to do for the second batch. So we're starting to plan for that. And the main changes would be to sort of cut off these corners and make the sides about 1 millimeter wider on each side. And so the adapter would be just slightly wider, which would, I think, make the glass a bit more stable and less prone to cracking. The second reason I think it happened is because of the assembly. Because of how I designed this, the top cover basically sits flush and pushes down on the glass. This makes it so that you sort of have a tendency to tighten these a bit too much, and it puts a bit of pressure on the corners. Plus the fact that the glass itself, the tolerance on the thickness was a bit variable, and because this is designed to sit flush, to get it to sit flush, sometimes it would push the glass down because the glass was a bit thicker. So for the second one, I'm planning on adding about 0.5 millimeter more metal that goes above the glass, and making the whole cap sit down a bit further down, which would also make this sort of split line a bit nicer. On some of the adapters that some of you will receive, you'll probably see that this front cover bows a bit, which isn't ideal, and I think it's something we can fix by just changing the design a bit. If your adapter sort of suffers from these cracked corners, and it's happened sort of in shipping or after it left us, please let us know. We're aware of the issue. Normally, it shouldn't be an issue to the functionality of the adapter. Cosmetically, obviously, it's a bummer, but hopefully in use, it shouldn't actually affect any of the performance, which is a relief, I suppose. Silver lining. Okay, second item. One thing that I definitely learned is that keeping these things clean is very difficult, even or more so, despite this sort of room environment and not having a sort of cleaner space to work in, it's hard to keep all the dust off of the adapters, both internal and external surfaces. And so hopefully for second batch, I think I'm leaning towards finding somebody who can make the assembly, like the core assembly, and then I can sort of clean up the front and back surfaces when I get to it. But somebody who has a clean room, shout out to all the lens technicians out there who just do this thing day in and day out. I definitely don't have the patience required for that kind of job, especially not if we're moving to bigger batches, as it seems that a lot of people are interested. On that note, I'm really sorry if you weren't able to get one of the adapters. They sold out very quickly. I think when Pierre and I sort of were thinking about this project, we thought 100 would be a pretty safe number that we thought we could sell pretty easily. And I think that ended up being the case more than we expected. We had about 450 people on the mailing list before the launch, which was, a lot of people for 100 adapters. And so on my end, they went in about 2 hours, and I think Piero's are about to sell out. And he's been doing UK only, so that kind of shows you the level of demand for such a sort of niche and small project. We're hoping for the second batch to sort of make a bit more of them, maybe in the 2 to 400. If there's a lot of demand, maybe more. I think we will sort of wait now the coming 3 to 4 weeks to gather some feedback from all of the first supporters. Thank you all very much again. And then from there, we'll see what we need to do and what we need to improve, and then we can start making the next batch. On that note, if you're one of the people who got the first batch, please keep in touch with us. Please let us know how you use the adapter, what you like, what you dislike, the things you'd like us to change, what you think can be improved. We'd love to hear from you. This is obviously hopefully more of a conversation than just a normal purchase from a bigger manufacturer. We're very much doing this as kind of an experimental thing, and we want to hear from you. Want to hear what you think. All right, I think that's all. I'm gonna get back to working on it.